I don't really care if Amazon's on the listing. I mean, I see them on the listing. It looks like they price anywhere from 62 down upwards to 72. And right now we have this on the year mark. Let's move it to 3 months. Let's take Amazon off. Let's take new off. What I'm going to do is put used buy box and then used offer. Okay. So welcome back to another episode of Pick or Pass. This is episode number 2. This is a new series I started last week where I'm going to be analyzing deals. And matter of fact, I just came across this book called Motivational Interviewing, Helping People Change, 3rd edition. I found this used book for $18. And what I wanted to do was analyze this book together with you. Now, this particular series is more geared around online arbitrage. We're analyzing things online. We're using SellerAmp. We're using Keepa. If you're out in the field, you might be using Scout IQ, Scoutly. You could obviously use Keepa, Amazon Seller App. But these are deals that we're finding on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and other online sources. So I came across this book for $18. And let's analyze if we should pick or pass this deal. Okay, so we can already see right now on the Amazon sales page that it's selling for $68.43 new. And if you take a look right here, the used buy box is $56.87. And keep in mind, the buy box is very important because it's been said that over 80% of sales on Amazon come through the buy box. People hit the buy it now button and that's how they purchase it. There's 2 buy boxes, new and used. And sometimes there is no buy box, sometimes it's suppressed. But right now we could see $68.43 is new. Okay, so that's like the cap of the highest price essentially that you want to go. And used is $56.87. Okay, so if we actually click on that, we can see that this seller, Cozy App Products, is selling it for $56.87. Now we can buy this for $18. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up SellerAmp right now and I'm going to let that load. And I'm just going to suppose right now for fun that we can sell this at the lowest buy box price. Now we're going to actually have to go in and confirm this, but let's say we can sell it for $56.87. If we were to able to pick this up right now on eBay or Amazon or Facebook Marketplace, wherever for $18, this would be a 95% ROI and a $17 profit. But I say this all the time and I'm going to say it again, all because the buy box is, saying a specific price. It doesn't mean you can sell it at that price. Sometimes it's overly inflated, especially with used books. So what we're going to want to do is dive in to Keepa and take a look to see what the history of this book is. So what I'm actually going to do is take a look here. And since I'm a used seller of this book, I don't really care if Amazon's on the listing. I mean, I see them on the listing. It looks like they price anywhere from 62 down upwards to 72. And right now we have this on the year mark. Let's move it to 3 months. Let's take Amazon off. Let's take new off. And what I'm going to do is click used buy box and then used offer. So this black line is the lowest used offer. And then this kind of like, I guess, pinkish line, I've been known to be colorblind, is the buy box used. Now, keep in mind that sometimes like right here, you can see the lowest offer was $13.84, which was most likely a merchant. And then you had FBA at 56. Now, keep in mind when you have a big gap between lowest merchant and then buy box, sometimes that could be concerning for a couple of reasons. Number one, sometimes that will encourage price tanking. So a new seller might come on the listing and see that, oh wow, there's a merchant at $13 and there's FBA at 57. I'm gonna put my FBA price at $13 because that's where the market is, and they don't understand you can sell for a premium. Now, the bigger the gap, the better chance that maybe folks won't buy FBA and they'll buy from MF. But I've sold plenty of books and DVDs where maybe the merchant was at 10 or 15 and I sold it for 30 or 40. But keep in mind, the larger the gap, the less likely you're going to get like a gigantic, massive increase in price, like getting that FBA prime bump. But you certainly can. I mean, I flip items like that all the time, but I don't love it when I see something like that. What I like more is like, if you look right here, the lowest use is at 41 and then the buy box is at 57. That's more realistic. It's like a 20-30% jump or whatever versus 17 to 57. That's like what? A 300% jump. So just kind of keep that in mind. So if you take a look at this black line, you can see the lowest offer was at 26 in November, and then it jumped up to 54, and then the buy box was 57. So this is a very interesting item that you can pick up when it tanks and sell it for more. Look at this. It dropped to 26 right here, and then you can flip it for 57. This dropped to 18, which is what we're actually able to pick it up for right now. We found an interesting deal online and flip it for 57. Now, I would say we probably could flip it for 57 just based on the chart, because I see that there's a lot of prices that sustain 60, 67, 56, 68. Obviously, it does tank from time to time, but let's actually go in. Let's click off a SellerAmp and let's take a look at who's on this listing. So I'm going to click new and used. And what I'm going to do is filter this to used. And I just want to see who's on the listing. So we have a merchant at 38 acceptable, 38 very good. These are all merchants. So there's like 3 that are pretty low right now on Amazon. And just so you guys know, if you're interested in flipping from Amazon to Amazon, you should definitely check out Joji Davenport's Amazon to Amazon Masterclass. I'll put a link down below. He is like the god of flipping from Amazon to Amazon with Keepa alerts, Keepa tracker. And it's just interesting how on Amazon, sometimes the merchants will just have price battles and tank it down to $5, $6, $7, $8, and then you can flip it for 40 or 50. And you could set up alerts to be notified of things like that. I'm not the expert when it comes to that, but I'm just looking around right here. So, okay, so that's good to know that the merchants are down there at 38. Now, what I want to also do is filter out Prime. And you can see that the lowest FBA offers used start at 56. 56, 56, 61. So what I would probably do, well, let's take a look and see how fast this is selling. So again, I'm going to open up SellerAmp and you can see, oh, look at this. It's a 61,000 rank, 65 estimated sales, which is fantastic. So this is a fast seller. This thing's moving, this thing's selling. And again, if you open up the Keepa chart, you can see all these lines, the green lines of how fast it's selling. So this was a 60,000 rank. It was selling, selling, selling. Then it got a little slower, selling, 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 a little bit slower. Now it looks like it's slowing down a little bit. It'll probably start picking up a bit quicker when we start getting into, the season and whatnot for maybe like the new year and stuff or school season. I don't know exactly what this book is all about, motivational interviewing. So maybe this doesn't really matter too much about textbook season because people are looking for jobs all the time. So let's go back to analyzing. Fast seller, not a ton of competition. There's 3 FBA starting at about 56 right here. So I know if this was set at 68 because SellerAmp's made for more like flipping new items. So this isn't the best for using for used, but I'm just going to put the numbers in. So let's just say we were going to sell this for $55.99 and we paid 18. That's a 91% ROI. $16 profit. Again, we looked at Keepa. It looks like it sustains it. Again, there are some times where merchant prices tank, but right now the merchants are at 34. And in the past, it's at 30, 54, 37, which is pretty interesting. Okay. Now, a cool feature as well, if you're using SellerAmp, you could hit search eBay. And you could try to find this deal or this book for a good deal. On eBay, there's not a ton of opportunities right now, but you can also search. There's a whole bunch of different websites that you could find books, thrift books. They actually have a Google button right here that you can click and you can find these books, hint, in different places. If you take a look right here, $8 here, $15 here. Again, you'd have to look through and make sure that it's exactly what you want. eWorld book, 15. So, you could probably get it even cheaper than $18. But let me know, would you pick or would you pass? I would definitely pick this book. 90% ROI, fast seller. Now, one thing I would 100% recommend doing is going over to Book Run and making sure you run this ISBN through it to make sure it's not highly likely or likely to be a counterfeit. This is one thing that I learned from Joji, who flips a ton of books from eBay to Amazon and Amazon to Amazon, is when you're dealing with textbooks and specific books, you want to make sure that it's not a high likely chance of you getting in trouble and getting an IP. So Book-Run counterfeit checker is very, very helpful. All right, so there we have it. I would definitely pick this book. Now, one thing I would do before I pick it is I would run this title through Book Run counterfeit checker to make sure it's not likely or highly likely of being a counterfeit. I'm not entirely sure if it is or not. I haven't looked this up. So that's the last thing I would do. It doesn't look like it would come back, but you never know. Certain books, for some reason, Book Run, it'll come back as likely or highly likely. And if it does, stay away from those books. Okay. So, I've done videos about this in the past, but if you go to book-run or just Google Book Run counterfeit checker, take the ASIN copy and put it in. If it comes back as likely or very likely, don't sell it. Okay. So I would pick this unless it came back as likely or highly likely. And you want to know what? We'll actually do this really quick. Let's see what it comes back as. All right. So we're over there right now and I'm going to paste this in. Hit I'm not a robot and hope that it doesn't come back as likely or very likely. Oh, look at it. Came back as very likely. Motivational interviewing, helping people change, 3rd edition. So guess what? I'm going to pass. I know some of you guys out there have a little bit more of a risk tolerance, but for me, I've gotten a counterfeit before in the past with books, and it was because I sold a likely or very likely. And again, I learned this from Joji as well. He flips a lot more textbooks. If it doesn't pass this, don't sell it. So now that I did that, I'm glad I actually did it on video. That's a hard pass for me. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know if this helped. If you want more help in mentorship, selling on Amazon, growing your business, listing, shipping, analyzing deals, then definitely check out resellingfreedom.com. That's my membership. And we have over 7 coaches in there. We do 3 to 5 live coaching calls a week. Workshops, we have courses, we have ebooks and guides and a community. So if you want to be a part of the #1 Amazon selling community for new sellers, intermediate, and advanced sellers, check out resellingfreedom.com. But with that being said, I'm passing on this book. I'm sorry, but let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. With that being said, see you in the next one. Bye.